Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code DRASIN12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Okay. Welcome to Rick's Corner. I got John Hart, Mr. America back. We're going over a list of things we want to talk about, and there's quite a few things. And I don't know if we have enough time for everything, but we're going to fit in as much as we can.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
I just want to talk a little bit about getting older real quick and trying to train, especially through injuries, because I know a lot of people have shoulder problems.
Right.
I do as well. Putting a jacket on or a shirt and putting a t-shirt over my head is like fire. I can still train them, but my God, it's hard to do anything. Even wash my head in the shower. So I'm hoping it'll go away. The leg thing is another issue that throws my back out. But as you get older, your body falls apart on certain parts of it because there's been a lot of abuse, a lot of wear and tear. So I'm thinking positive, and somebody asked me today in the gym, that young guy I met, he says, how do you stay motivated to go to the gym? He says, sometimes I just can't do it. Because I said the alternative of sitting home is not fun.
Right.
I don't want to sit home. I stayed home yesterday after the doctor on the couch and in the studio and ate home and was home the whole night just resting until today, and I thought I got to get out of the house. I got to go back to the gym. So I went back and I worked legs very, very lightly because it's still pretty messed up. But I was motivated to do it, and the motivation comes from somewhere, and I couldn't tell them where it came from. You just either have it or you don't.
Right.
And a lot of people don't. A lot of people do. So that being said, we were talking about also intermittent fasting, and because of this situation right now lately, I went through the intermittent fasting for about 4 days. My last meal at night was at 6. I didn't eat again until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, just because I didn't feel like making breakfast hobbling around on a walker. So I tried it, and I said, I don't notice any difference. I'm not really that hungry. I don't know if it changed my body or my life or whatever, but it wasn't difficult. And for those who do it and say it works for them, maybe it really does. I'm sure it does. Those who do it and say it doesn't work, then it doesn't. Every body type's different, but at least I gave it a try. And I don't know that much about it. But I had no choice, so I did it anyway. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, you know, when we spoke about it on the last show that I did with you, neither one of us was coming from a purely scientific point of view. You know, obviously not having done, you know, super research on such a thing. We were speaking, you know, empirically from what we've known in the gym, but also because almost everything in the physique world, everything in you know, body composition, fat loss world, exercise world comes out of the gym. Right. And we specifically were speaking in terms of intermittent fasting in relation to bodybuilding. Right. And also, I was coming from a place of, and I'd like to explain this, I was coming from a place of, I train a lot of people, and I have trained a lot of people over the last 37 years, and I'm interested in what will they stick to. And now, I read a couple of comments down below the last video that we did on your channel, and you know, there were some people on there making great points, and a few of the guys saying how they went and had blood work done, had this tested, that tested, and I go like this, I go, good on you. However, the average person will never do those things.
Nope. The average person won't even stick to a high-protein diet because they'll go crazy and fall off and eat a bunch of junk.
There you go.
That's just human nature. I don't find fault with it. It's just what they want to do. I try not to do that. I don't want to say I try. I hate that word. But I don't do it unless it's a weekend or it's an off day, and maybe I'll have a piece of cake, but I'll share it with somebody. And even after I eat, I don't really want it. I still stay with the high protein.
Over the years that I've known you, that's exactly what I've heard you say consistently, and then me too. I've been doing the same. Now, this is the one thing I wanted to add to it, though. Within the context of us talking about intermittent fasting and bodybuilding, I will take two guys. Let's pick them at the peak of their lifetime. Twins even. 18 years old, let's say, right? 20 years old. Just able to recover, grow muscle, high natural hormone levels.
Yeah.
On or off drugs, I don't care, but equal on both, okay? Feed one guy 6 meals a day, standard bodybuilding, higher protein diet, have him train his balls off. Have the other guy intermittently fast on any protocol you wish. Pick it. And have him train as well. Equal training programs, just different diets. I'm taking the guy taking the 6 meals a day.
Yeah, so am I. Because you got to
gaining muscle.
You got to feed that muscle all the time. That's what I was brought up to believe, and that's what we did in the 70s, and that's the results that you would get.
That's it. So just show me the first intermittent fasting guy that's done that and built up a nice body from 18, 19, 20 years old on up. I just want to see him.
Well, bodybuilding is not the healthiest thing to do anyway.
Yeah, we're not talking about it. We didn't. Now we never spoke about it within the terms of healthy, did we?
Yeah.
Although we did, for a moment, acknowledge there's benefits that we hear about.
Bodybuilding is not healthy.
Right.
I mean, when you're training heavy weights and you're killing your joints and you're eating limited foods, it's not the best thing in the world. Overall training and an overall diet is probably better. But you're looking for a look and you're looking for results, and if you're looking for that look and results, you have to do it the bodybuilding way.
You're going to push it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And when you get to the higher levels and they're doing drugs, you got to do drugs to compete with the guys that are doing it, because if you don't, you're not going to make it.
Right, and that in that sport now we have also the natural realm, which I was in,
Right.
in bodybuilding, competing. So we have the other side too, which I know there's going to be comments down below saying nobody's natural.
I'm going to say that.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's natural until the day of the contest. They might drop it off a week or two before, but up till then, they're training on something.
I wasn't when I was.
No,
looking.
maybe you weren't, but the majority of people are.
Now that's different. The majority of people are not.
Yeah, you can't deny
You're
it.
right.
And they won't
I'm with
admit
you.
it, but you can see it in their body that they're on something. You can tell when somebody's on something. You can tell when they're not on something. It makes a huge difference. And when they go off, you can really tell again.
Yeah.
Now, I've lost size over the past month or two. I still did testosterone once a week, but I haven't in a couple of weeks just because I didn't feel like it. But having an injury and having the shoulders hurt, I can't train like I want to, and I have no appetite.
Yeah.
So I can see myself just going down, down, and down. So now I'm back in there, and I'm trying to increase my amount of protein throughout the day and train a little bit harder. Not heavy, just harder. So it'll come back. I'm not worried about it. I have nothing to prove.
Well, inactivity as we get older has also been the one thing that has caused a ton of muscle loss. We already know this.
Yes.
It's inactivity at that stage in your life is not good.
Now you have to do
So
something.
it goes away quick, really quick.
So fast.
So did you have fun last time? We talked about the golden era stuff.
The golden era came about years ago when I was talking and I started bringing on bodybuilding from the past, and I said, we call this the golden era.
Yeah.
I was the first one to put that name out there. And I had a t-shirt called the golden era of bodybuilding, and then all of a sudden it took off and everybody started using it.
But you defined it as 67, 68 to
Yes.
80,
Yes,
right?
the whole 70s period. But then I said I went behind that up to the 60s, 50s and 60s with like Reg Lewis and Reg Park and Steve Reeves and this and that, and I called that the silver era. The silver era because it was before the gold. So some people are starting to use that now.
Yeah.
But I will say something that I learned about Steve Reeves, who had one of the best bodies in bodybuilding.
Yes, you did.
He wasn't a bodybuilder. He exclaims, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm an actor. I work out to stay in shape for Hercules and all those movies he did. He says, I wasn't training to be a competitive bodybuilder. It wasn't my thing. I worked out 3 times a week.
Full body.
Full body, and that's what I did, and I ate, and that's what I did. But it just so happened that I built a good body. But it was for acting, not bodybuilding. I never knew that.
Wow.
Yeah.
An amazing physique to be built like that, right?
Amazing.
Now, during that era, him, Grimick, drug situation?
I can't say for sure. I can't say that they didn't because they probably did. But that was before, like I was 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they did. I didn't learn about drugs till I was like 16, 17.
Huh.
And that's the first thing I ever heard was Dianabol from Bill Pearl. And there was nothing else I would do. I'd never stick a needle in myself. No way in the world. So that's when I found out. But that's a long, long time ago.
Right.
Things have changed immensely since then.
Now, what year did you come down and you were in Southern California?
1969.
Okay, so you were around when Bill Pearl went in the universe in 71.
I trained at Bill Pearl's gym in 1969.
So he and Arnold were sort of going against each other in 2 different organizations, right?
Yeah.
And they're from 2 different organizations.
Bill was amazing. My God, he was thick and muscular. And
Right.
And he just had the kind of build you wanted.
Yeah.
He really did. Nicest guy in the world.
When I was sitting in the truck waiting for you, I was writing out lists, right? I've been into lists lately as far as the golden era goes, and because I love talking to Rick about it, and you guys too. And man, Bill Pearl's name was on there, but I wrote at the top of my list when I decided I got to pick like a top 10 out of these guys.
Yes.
And I went with having mass,
Yep.
cuts,
Yes.
separation. This is the pre-ripped era. Pre-ripped. Okay,
Yes.
so they weren't
but we thought they were ripped.
Yeah. There was just no shredded glutes all over the place,
No,
right?
no.
Mass cuts, separation, and presentation.
Which is very important.
So if I took all 4 of those into consideration during the golden era, not Bill Pearl prior to that, because in 60s, was it 67? Right at the beginning. Well, actually in 67 he did look really good. Arnold won the amateur universe and Bill Pearl won the pro. And so I'd put him up there on the list up there.
Well, let's go over the list because there is somebody you left out.
Okay, well, want to count down or count up?
Let's count up.
Count up.
Or count down.
Okay, so at 10th I have Dave Draper.
Okay, now that can go any way you want it to go because he was equally as good as anybody.
Right.
I'd see Draper in the gym. He was strong and focused, and every rep count, whether up or whether down, every rep count. It was just amazing to watch him train. He was so strong, and he had a peaked bicep and veins all over his forearms. Forearms the size of tree trunks.
He trained fast, I heard. Is that right?
He trained pretty fast, but he was so intense it was like ridiculous. Amazing guy.
Yeah. So you're saying there could be a few guys at number 10.
Yeah, there could be. It could go any which way on this, but let's go.
Okay, so number 9 I have Beckles, Albert Beckles.
Beckles is a good friend of mine. I believe he's 87 or 89 now. He's still at the gym every day after having back surgery, leaning on a cane, but he goes around and he still does stuff.
Yes.
Because he's not going to quit. He had an amazing double split bicep.
Yeah.
Amazing. The man was in awesome shape. He's a winner in any category as far as I'm concerned. And to still be there at 87 doing what he's doing is pretty admirable.
And during that era, as we got towards the, he was competing consistently through the 70s, right? And towards the end of he hadn't even hit his peak yet. But I still have him up there, just for that fact. He was that good.
Yes.
All through the 70s. And a lot of guys, you got to look it up. Find out when he competed in other shows.
Let me tell you a story about Albert.
Yes.
Because we were good friends. He was in New York training for something, and he wraps himself in trash bags. He does this a lot.
To sweat?
The sweat. So he's in New York, and he's wrapped in black trash bags, plastic. Running down the street, it's been raining, it's wet, and cops pull him over and they say, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm running." And they said, "Well, this is not an area where, especially a black guy wants to run around because you always look like you're guilty of something." And then the other cop recognized, "Aren't you Albert Beckles?" He said, "Yeah, I'm training for the big show." He says, "And they use the trash bags so that I can sweat."
Right.
So they let him go, but they had fun with him.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. He seems like a really fun man, too.
Great guy.
So at number 8, I have Danny Padilla.
The giant killer.
Yes. Just because of his 78, 79 Night of Champions. Okay, when he lost to Robbie by that one vote, remember that one?
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He was peaked again, I think, in like the 81 Olympia, he was hard as nails.
Yeah.
But that's getting out of that era. But during 77, 78, he was amazing. And then the Universes when he won that as well.
And he's still in shape.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him down at the beach about a year or two ago, and he's still thick, and he's got his
Is that
muscle.
right?
Yep.
Man. So he was amazing to watch, too, train, right?
Yeah, that's a great guy, too.
Yeah. So at number 7, I have Mike Menser. A lot of you guys, that's not personal. I'm judging his physique, man. I know you guys know I'm associated with him. Physique-wise, I'm going with all 4 things. Mass, cuts, separation, and presentation. He had all 4. I put him on that top 10 list because of that. A little bit ahead of his time, but especially when you get to that 1980 Olympia that Arnold won, when Menser took 5th, he was in amazing shape. That's why I give it to him.
How come his brother didn't get the same notoriety that he got?
Ooh, wow.
Because he was equally as well built.
Yeah, he was. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good question. I don't know. I met him near the end of his life, Ray.
Yeah.
So he was a shadow of his former self.
I didn't know him that well. I knew Mike when he'd come to the gym once in a while, and I didn't really know much about his training unless he trained with Arthur Jones for doing the Nautilus machine in Florida.
Right.
But I went through that whole period where they did the failure, and apparently it worked for a while.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Well, and it worked for him.
Yeah.
It's at that point, right? So I have him at 7. 6 is an interesting one. Serge Nubret. I put
Serge
there.
was like a racehorse.
Yeah.
He was in such great shape, and his muscle would glisten like a horse just coming off a run. He would like shiver, and his muscle would just fall into place. It's an amazing body.
See, I put him up there specifically because, again, his presentation was amazing.
Yep.
But the mass, the cuts, the separation, and just beautiful shape.
God, yeah.
If I had to fault him, maybe I turn him around and do a back double bicep or a back lat spread. I go, that's about it. But otherwise, amazing physique and artist with his posing.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why. And that separation, that hard as nails looked like that you just mentioned.
Yep.
Loved it. Number 5, I got my man Robbie.
Well, you can't beat Robbie.
No, I want to put him higher, but you're about to see where I'm going with this. So I put Robbie up there specifically because I'm talking about guys that were in shape, during this era. I don't care if it was at the Olympia or, in Robbie's case, the Night of Champions. He kept missing it at the Olympia, apparently, right?
I don't know if Robbie did drugs or not, but he told me one time he had a heart condition. He couldn't do anything. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know he has a heart condition. So he might have not. He's just maybe a good gainer. But even at his age now, he's completely ripped and muscular. But his diet is so clean.
Yeah.
It's like everything counts that he puts in his mouth.
Right. I saw him at World Gym for the last 10 years that I was there before they shut down, and talked to him all the time. And his diet was amazing.
Yeah, he doesn't deviate. Even with Al Beckles, his form of cheating was having rice. What do you eat, Albert, when you cheat? He says, just rice.
Wow. And that's the way it was when he was younger?
Yeah. What happened to the chocolate cake? Oh, I never eat that.
Ah, man. See, the thing about that I put up about Robbie, though, is I don't see weaknesses on him.
No, there's none.
And his posing was great.
Yep.
So I kind of, but the problem was he was only in shape for those Night of Champions. You know, when you got out of the night, and any of the Grand Prix shows. When you go to the Olympia, every year he had a reputation of being a little bit off. Maybe he was burnt out. Maybe it was, in his head. I don't know.
I wish my best day would be when he's a little off.
There you go. That's pretty cool. That's
good
pretty cool. Now, the reason why I have him at number 5 and I have Zane at number 4 is that Zane could hit it on the day of the Olympia.
Yes.
And he beat Robbie repeatedly because of it.
We called him a chemist.
Now, why is that, Rick?
Well, I wonder. But he was in shape for a show, and then after the show, he completely went down out of shape. But his posing was impeccable.
Yeah.
He had every body part. He knew how to display it. He was a nice-looking guy. And he trained hard.
I saw your show with Jerry Branham. You were talking about him.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Wow. So, Jerry said that before a show, 2 weeks before a show, he was like, he's totally out of shape. He's asking if he's going into the show, and of course he is, right?
He got in a fight with Zane at his apartment, hit him and knocked him downstairs.
Really?
Yeah, I think Jerry told that story, though.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to say something about Zane?
Well,
funny story after a show?
No. He would look great, but then you have Franco.
Yeah, I have Franco at number 3. And this one, the only thing I didn't like about Franco, God rest his soul, his arms were a little short and slightly bow-legged. But I take all those 4 things, mass, cut, separation, and presentation, and I take those top 4 guys are all Mr. Olympias, by the way.
And his strength was not out of the world.
Strength's out of this world. And when he was in his prime, which was during the 70s, not 1981, that muscle was just 3D, man. Everything from his pecs, his delts,
oh, you could put
his arms,
a pencil between his pecs and it wouldn't fall out.
Right, his back. I mean, even his legs before he broke the leg.
Yep.
It was amazing. He was 3D density, super strong. Presentation, amazing.
Yep.
Cuts galore. Even in the movie Pumping Iron, you can see him when he's posing. Amazing separation, definition. And, if I have to get a little ticky-tack and technical about it, structurally, his arms a little short, the leg a little curved to it.
But that was his bone structure.
That's his bone structure.
He worked with it. But there's somebody I would parallel with him.
Who's that?
Ed Corney.
Ooh.
You can't leave Ed out.
I honorable mention on the other side of the page right here, Ed Corney.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He had an incredible body and was an incredible poser.
Yes.
And he trained hard.
Loved him. Yeah.
He trained very hard.
We trained with these guys.
And he had 8 kids.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he found time to get to the gym.
Wow. So you saw him training during that era as well.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's in 3rd place. I have.
Okay.
Second, I go Sergio. All the way Sergio.
There's only one Sergio. He was massive and he just had that look. And I saw him standing at a pool table with a short sleeve shirt on. It's a classic picture and a hat. His arms are so huge they're busting out of the shirt.
Yes.
And he has a son.
Yes, he's current day pro in the IFBB right now.
He looks just like him. Yeah, he looks just like him.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's supposedly coming back this year to do really well. Sergio, I have up there, throughout the late 60s and 70s. Was he ever ripped? I mean, deep separation?
Not really.
Not really, but
he had that charisma type of body that people just looked at and said, oh my God, I want to look like that guy.
Yeah, the mass, the presentation, the separation. He had enough of it all, which was amazing. Yeah. And the shape overall, to me, pushed him up there, 3-time Mr. Olympia.
Yep.
And then numero uno. All right.
Well, everybody says Arnold. I always say Arnold. What do you think about Arnold? Why Arnold? Yeah. Because Arnold, seriously, had the best body back in those days anybody had ever seen. He had the height, he had the small waist, he had big shoulders, big chest, big arms, and he knew how to pose, and he had charisma, and he knew how to sell himself to the public. He knew how to give them a little bit and give them a little bit more when they wanted more, and then he'd walk off stage leaving them hanging for more.
Well, now we've talked about him before too. Physique-wise, we know he was incredible.
Yeah.
But between his ears, right? It seems like that was one of his strongest muscles. I mean, I know it sounds, you know.
No, he
cliche and all
had
that
a lot of drive to train. He had a lot of drive to do everything. He knew what he wanted out of life. He came here and he had nothing, and he ended up being something and became one of the top bodybuilders. Wanted to be an actor in a worse way and became one of the biggest box offices. Then he got into politics and ended up being governor. How can a man from a foreign country be all those things in one lifetime?
Right.
That takes a lot.
Well, Eddie Giuliani told me once, I was hanging out with Eddie, and he told me that when Arnold first got here, he told him the 3 things that he was going to be.
Yeah.
He was going to be the best bodybuilder in the world.
Yep.
He was going to be the best. He was going to, be an Academy Award-winning actor.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what he said at the time, right? Be the best actor in the world and replace action movie heroes. And then third, he was going to be the president if the law, and he was hoping the laws would change.
Well, let me put it this way. There's not a household in this world that doesn't know the name Arnold.
Right. All you have to do is say Arnold.
Yeah, they all know.
Yeah.
Even people not involved in the sport, they just know who Schwarzenegger is. He's just got through so much, and he's made such a name for himself and he knows how to carry it through.
So what is it about Arnold, and I'll ask you this because you were around him so much, what is it about him that even to this day, people are magnetized to him? They love talking to him. It's not like he's handing them dollar bills or $100 bills.
Well, he has the charisma. People just want to be around it. And they figure it's going to rub off.
He makes them feel good.
Makes him feel good. He's just got that magnetism that draws you to him, and you want to be in his presence. He's just got it. He didn't have to develop it. It's just who he is. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. There was a time, I have a quick funny story for you too. I was training people at World Gym. Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay. I was at World Gym training people. I was training a client one day, and all of a sudden, the black SUVs pull up really quick, and the guys with the Hawaiian shirts and the little CIA thing out of the ear into the shirt are standing at the door. Obviously they say Big A is on the way, and Joe Gold was there. He said, Big A is on his way. And next thing you know, you see bicycles come around the corner, and him and Maria.
Oh yeah, they ride their bikes to the gym.
Yeah. So Maria and he both pull on up, and they pull into the gym. And I was used to calling him Big A because of Joe Gold. He always referred to him as Big A, so I got in the habit of doing it.
He would call him the Oak too.
And the Oak. Yes, that's true. And so Big A comes in, he does the whole thing in the office. Maria goes to work out right away. Big A is saying, after she just says hi to everybody, he goes in the office. I'm in the gym training a client. And when he comes in the gym, he's going to train with Eddie. And they're working out that day, right? And as I walk on by him, he acknowledges me, and I said, Big A, just like Joe Gold did, totally out of habit. And my client follows me, and we go to the next exercise, and she says to me, you call the governor Big A? And I went,
Never thought about it.
I'll be right back, like this. And I jump across the gym really quick in his direction. Hawaii shirts close in, right on me. I go, guys, just want to let Big A know something if it was okay with you. So let the governor know something if it's okay with you. And so he turned around, he waves them off, and he comes right on up to me and he says, yeah. I said, Mr. Governor, I just want to apologize. I called you Big A right there. It's a habit I picked up from Mr. Gold in the office right there, and I want to apologize to you. And he shakes my hand and he says, you can call me anything. You call me anything you want. Like this. And it was just the way he did that. He said, don't even think twice about it. You call me anything you want. Call me Big A. Make up a name for me special. I like that. Like this. And he goes back. I'm going to go train with Eddie now. He goes, hey, say hi to your client for me. Like this. And he walks away like this. And he goes to train with Eddie. I mean, he took the time, which was nice.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he made me at ease about it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because it was my client was a little tense. She didn't know.
I'll tell you one more story that Roger Keller told me. Arnold was in the gym, and there's this young guy training for. He wasn't all there mentally, I don't think. And Arnold says, "Oh, you look good." He says, "You need to pose." So he takes him up to the dressing room, and he says, "Take your clothes off and start posing." So he says, "Look at this, Franco. Look how good this guy looks." He says, "Come on downstairs and pose downstairs." So he says to Ken Waller, he says, "Ken, give him the special posing oil. Have him put it on because it'll look so much better."
Posing oil?
Yeah. So Waller had 2 quarts of transmission oil underneath his desk. So the guy rubbed down with it. It was all red. And he's posing with it. And Arnold says, "You have to go to Weeder's office right now and tell me you're the champion." So the guy drove out there and he sat in the lobby in a couch waiting for Weeder, and Weeder came down. He says, Arnold sent me, and because of that, all the oil that was on him got all over the couch and stained it.
Oh.
This is kind of a practical joker he was.
Right. Oh.
So it was pretty funny.
Do you have to replace the couch?
Don't know. I just heard it up to that point. He did a lot of stuff like that. Told the guy he ate a lot of salt. Saw a guy ended up in the hospital from the salt.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's stuff that just happened.
Well, he had a drive to him, and that's part of the reason. Physically, he had it. I put him at number 1. The other reason, I put up all 4 reasons: mass, cuts, separation, presentation. He had it all. And he was driven to have it all.
Yeah.
And then the plus on top of that is he's affected generations. So
yeah, you can't even compare these guys to today's bodybuilders. None of them have that.
Yeah. No.
They just want to get bigger and bigger and bigger until they explode.
Well, and the personality, right?
Yeah, no personality.
They don't have it like he did.
No, they all make that face like a tough guy, like this, and Arnold never did that, and none of the guys ever did that. They smile. You present your body, you present it with a smile to show that you're a happy person, everything looks good. You don't want to come off looking like a jerk. Look how tough I am with the face I make like a lion. There's no point in it.
Yeah, this one doesn't make sense to me with advertisements especially. They have an angry look on their face, a miserable look on their face, and advertisers are like okay with that.
They're okay with it? I don't know.
I don't like that. That's just me. But yeah, man. So that's what I had for you today. It was my list.
Good.
As I was sitting out there going, golden era guys, man, I just started writing all down, these names, writing them all down. And, the only ones I had that didn't make the list in my mind, I don't put Lou Ferrigno on there. Love you, Lou.
Ken Waller.
I don't put him on that top 10, though.
Yeah.
And, Fox, Draper is number 10. Harold Poole.
Giuliani.
Giuliani, they're all great. They're all great.
They're all great,
but
yeah.
they don't make that top 10. We have 4 of them are Mr. Olympias, so you see my top 4 are all Mr. Olympias.
Yeah, it could go any way you want it to. This is an opinion. It's a personal opinion.
Yeah.
But they're all good.
Yeah, and they should put guys watching this, girls watching this, put your opinion down below, right? In the comment section.
Absolutely.
We love it. Love seeing it.
Well, John, thank you for coming over.
No, man, thank you. I get all excited to come to your show, man. Just like the guy in the gym today, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
What's your YouTube channel?
Mr. America Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be great if you stop on by. Come and visit me.
Catch him on there and you'll enjoy what he does.
Thank you.
All right, see you all next time. Stay tuned for more. Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin. Personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world. And I'm the guy that drew it. And I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.